surf brothers, dancing mothers, won't you come inside? Sons and daughters, seek still water, the unity your guide. If you're lost or lonely, come inside. We're waiting for you. When you open your heart and open your arms, Spirit flows right through. If you're lost or lonely, come inside. We are waiting for you. When you open your heart and open your arms, Spirit flows right through.
Okay, all together, I would like you to, if you can, turn around and look at the camera and say, "Good morning, Reverend Laurie." Good morning, Reverend Laurie. We trust you will heal quickly and get back here. For those of you who don't know, Reverend Laurie took a little bit of a tumble, thanks to Bentley, chasing after something. Bentley, well, her daughter's dog, but anyways, Bentley took her for a little bit of a fast run that didn't work out well, but we trust she's healing quickly and she will be back. So anyone that's here for the very first time, we welcome you. Thank you so much for coming out today. At the back of the sanctuary, you'll find a little table that has some information about Unity of London, and an opportunity to fill out or maybe one of our readers have given you a blue piece of paper, or you can give us your contact information so we can stalk you. And we do that stalking just by sending out a weekly email about what's happening this week at Unity. And so if you'd like to know what's going on, we hope you enjoyed today and consider coming back and joining us. Welcome to everybody that's online, either right now or later on. And those of you later on, why are you sleeping in? We have to get up. But we're just so glad that everybody's here. We're going to have a great time today. It's Celebration Sunday and lots of great things happening. So first we have some special announcements. Pauline, would you come up and share a special announcement first, please?
This is an announcement about our fall fun fair fundraiser. You remember we did one last year. You remember that Wilda chaired it. Dawn provided lots of food. We did it outside Unity. This year, I agreed that I would chair. And so I'm looking at all of you, my friends in Unity, and those who are watching who are here, to volunteer and make this a fabulous event. This one will be held right here in our space. Yay. And we're having a meeting next week after the service. Please come and sing and let me know what special area is calling you to volunteer in. And you'll be very excited about the theme. I chose the theme, but not the title. So if you want to know the theme, which will be fun, and will resonate with lots of you, just come to next week's meeting.
Thank you, Pauline. And on Sunday, September the 8th, Reverend Laurie will be facilitating a class called Pizza and Principles. Now, if you've taken the course before, you're certainly welcome to come back. But this is a class that we provide for those of you that would like to become a Unity member. It is a requirement. It's kind of it's not the only requirement, but it is a requirement to become a member. So if you've not taken the class and you're considering becoming a member, it doesn't mean that you automatically do or you have to, but it is the starting point. So come on out or sign up. There'll be a sign-up sheet in the fellowship hall. And for those of you that are not members, I encourage you to come and participate. And the next one is Tithely. Now, I wish Janet Anderson was here. And Janet, if you're watching, pay attention, because she asked me recently if there was other ways that she can contribute on a regular basis. So there's an app, I guess, called Tithely. Easy contributions. You can email. They will email you a record of your contributions. It's automatic. There's an option to cover the cost. So you add a little extra that you cover the cost instead of Unity. And it does decrease our administrative workload. And there's a short video that you can watch.
give using the new Tidely Giving form. What we're first going to do is you're going to locate the Tidely Giving platform. You can get here by either clicking Give on your church's website, going to tide.ly/give, or using the green Tidely app. First thing we're going to do is we're going to log in. If you have an account, you'll log in here. And if you don't have an account yet, just click Create an Account right there. We're going to put in our email and our password. Then it's going to prompt you to put in your PIN code. Your PIN code is just a 4-digit number as an extra layer of security on our platform. Once you're in, you'll see the Tidely Giving homepage. From here, you want to look and make sure that your church name is located right there. And if not, all you have to do is find it by clicking Find Us Nearest Church if you're sitting in church, or you can type in your church name right there, and all you have to do is locate it by name and click to give. If you see your church name here, just click Give Now. Awesome. This is going to take us to our Tidely Giving form. Right here, you'll see that new format of the beautiful Tidely Giving form. All you got to do is complete the information there, and then you can easily give to your church. So let's walk through that. So first, we're going to put in a donation amount here. You do have to put in at least $5 to give. Today, I'm going to donate $10 to my church. You're then going to change your giving type to whatever you'd like. Today I'm going to give to missions. Then you're going to choose your payment method. So your payment method, if it's saved, if you've given before, it'll be located here. If you've never given before, you'll be prompted to put in your new payment method. You can pay with a card, a credit or debit card. You can pay with a bank account number if you'd like to do that. Or you can pay with Apple Pay if you have an Apple device, or Google Pay if you have an Android. You also now have the option to cover the fees. If you'd like to cover the fees, you just check that box there. It'll show the fee that you're covering. In this case, it's 61 cents. And then it'll show your new gift total. So that is the amount that you're donating plus the fees covered. So my new total here would be $10.61. And then if you'd like, you can have the option of setting up recurring giving. If you want to set up recurring giving, all you got to do is click that on there and set your schedule. Once you verify that all the information here is correct and that is what you want to donate to your church, all you have to do is hit the green Give button here at the bottom of the screen. Confirm that your donation is correct there. Hit OK. Allow it to process. And just like that, you've given to your church using Tidely. Hi there.
Wow, very cool. I'm sure more people will be using those. And now let's together affirm our vision, and this is throughout almost all of Unity worldwide. We are a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission here in London is that we are a loving, inclusive community co-creating with Spirit to transform lives. And we're going to sing a song.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
prayer. That means Unity defines prayer as the most highly accelerated mind action known. It is an affirmation of truth and a commission and communion between you and all that is. Through prayer, the mind is renewed and circumstances transformed. If you wish prayer for someone else or for yourself, you're invited to use our prayer box, just up front here. Put a first name only on a piece of paper and place it into the box. No need to explain the situation, as divine mind is all-knowing. It will be prayed over here at Unity by our prayer angels for 30 days, then sent on to Silent Unity for additional prayer. Remember, 24 hours a day, you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY to reach Silent Unity, where people have been praying with and for people for over 130 years. If you wish private one-on-one prayer or the sharing of healing energy, our prayer chaplain will be available at the back of the sanctuary following the service. Just take a seat on a chair in front of them. Today's prayer chaplain is Marianne. Please come forward and lead us in prayer.
Good morning, everybody. I think right now would be the perfect time for us to come together as one and to pray. You can close your eyes if that feel a little bit more spiritual, and take a few deep cleansing breaths just to ensure that the pathway to your heart is pure and not clogged. Now is a good time to be quiet, to be still, so our whispers can be heard above the noise of ordinary living of our lives. At this time, as one, we wish to enfold within our wholeness as one all of you, all of those who are online with us this morning, to everyone who is usually here and is unable to be with us, their presence. You are with us. At this time, we can send out to the universe our one wholeness of prayer, and we hold Unity Church of Winnipeg and Unity Church Centre of Truth in Etobicoke, Ontario. All we are doing by mentioning their name is expressing our desire to be one with them and to give them our support and our energy. At this time, you may wish to send to the universe the name of someone who may need that little extra tap, nudge of special prayer. Let's take a moment and do that. Our whispers, as one individual in prayer, is always heard. But I truly believe that when we come together and put all of our whispers together, there is such a joyous roar that it is felt everywhere. And for that, we can be truly grateful and thankful. Amen.
Thank you, Marianne. And now for our message from the Daily Word, brought to you by Silent Unity. Authenticity. I am free to be my true self. Today, I may be called to fill many roles: parent, neighbor, child, spouse, partner, co-worker, consumer, citizen. As I contemplate the unwavering power of infinite love, I understand that my true self, my authentic self, is divine. I am guided to speak and act for the highest good of all concerned. I can express myself with courage and with compassion. In strife, my words and actions bring forth peace, reconciliation, and wholeness. In accord, my contribution is a magnet for joy, beauty, and abundance. Trusting my authentic self, I allow the glory of the infinite to transform ordinary circumstances into magnificent possibilities. And all of us, with unveiled faces, seeing the glory of the Lord as though reflected in a mirror, are being transformed. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18.
First line of this song, you've heard this before, we've done. First line is, join us in the song we sing and lift your voices high. So when we get to the chorus, which is, well, you'll know when we get there, please feel free to jump in. Join us in the song we sing, lift your voices high. We can make the mountains rain, we'll make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing and time is flying by. Here we go. Now, smile each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, and we shall surely pass. It's love that makes it all worthwhile, the truth of life that lasts. We are but a moment's sunlight, so before we pass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, trying to love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, you will understand.
Well, for most of us, our guest speaker doesn't really need much of an introduction because we know her very well. About 8 years ago, Pauline and I did our Pizza and Principles class together, so we've been walking the path of unity together, and it's been a true joy. But for those of you that don't know Pauline, she's been part of Toastmasters for well over 30 years. And she has been obviously a part of Unity for over 8, being on the board, being a prayer chaplain all that time, not on the board all that time. We're not allowed to do that. Not that she would if she could. But she provides great service, and as soon as Reverend Laura needs someone to step in, she was very easily stepped in. But another big thing about Pauline is she is on the path to becoming a licensed Unity teacher. So she truly is a blessing. So let's give a warm welcome and listen intently to Pauline Duncan-Thrasher.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. What a warm welcome. This was a title chosen by Rev Laurie from a book called Be the Miracle. I don't know what you thought of when you first heard that title. I had a friend, a fellow professional speaker, who wrote a chapter called If You Can't Be the Wave, Be the Ripple. But this is If You Can't Be the Rock, Be the Ripple. It's based on a true story of the lost boys of Sudan. I don't know if you ever saw the documentary. There was an award-winning documentary, and you could still see it if you go to YouTube. The documentary was called God Grew Tired of Us, the Lost Boys of Sudan. In 1987, there was a civil war in Sudan. Thousands of families were slaughtered. More than 20,000 little boys, more than 20,000 managed to escape the rebel soldiers. And they started across the desert, the blazing 1,000 miles of desert, searching for safety. Their parents were gone. They counted on each other for support. They had to escape wild animals, cross raging rivers. They were hungry, they were scared, and finally they made it to a refugee camp in Kenya. A lot of these boys were only 6 or 7 years old. They had to stay in that camp, that packed, crowded camp, for up to 10 years, waiting for a chance to go to a place they thought would give them safety, America. About 30 of them arrived in Cleveland. A settlement worker gave them menial jobs, found cheap housing. A couple of them were lucky enough to learn a few words of English, maybe get a couple of rides, maybe get a chance at a little bit of teaching, but most of them were lost. By then, the boys were young men, but many of them still felt like boys. Majok Tik Maduk was one of those boys. For Christmas, 6 weeks before Christmas, Majok was shot and killed waiting for a bus. You can imagine that his brothers were devastated. Up until then, these boys had just tried to make their own way. They thought a refrigerator was an office or a closet. They thought an elevator was a room. Now one of theirs had been killed. You can imagine the heartbreak. At the funeral, In borrowed shoes and baggy pants, they shuffled along beside the casket, tears streaming down their faces. Lost and bewildered, Reverend Bob Bejan asked forgiveness for what the community had failed to do. We didn't build a more peaceful city for you to live in. We beg you not to leave us. Please stay with us. Majac's brothers sang in low voices, sounding almost like monks, chanting. Then the congregation sang a song most of us know. Be not afraid. You shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. At this time, that song had poignant meaning for everybody who heard it. There was a little nun in the congregation, and she overheard the boys speaking. Akol Muduk said, "We work hard. I don't have my mother, I don't have my father. My job is my mother, my job is my father." Amiel Iraq was scared. If somebody lead us, we can do it. We got all qualifications. We are struggling. We are worried how we're going to survive. Alu Athai said, "We're confused, we don't know what to do." A Catholic nun called Sister Mary Frances Harrigan, who'd been trying to help the boys, came up to them after Majac's funeral and she said, "You know what? I just have a feeling that Majac is going to help you some way, even though he's not here bodily." She could see the holy in the horrific. She held on to that spark, and in time, volunteers would flame it. Tim Evans was a high school teacher at St. Ignatius High School, coordinating social justice programs. He teamed up with a nun and decided to be the rock for the lost boys. He proclaimed a community meeting. He didn't invite the boys because he was afraid they might get their hopes up, and if the people came and didn't do anything, they'd be devastated. 150 people showed up at that first meeting. Men in suits, little girls, mothers with babies, teenagers, they all came out. Tim said, "This is our moment. Let's work for the greater good of these boys." A big Cleveland police officer shook a tiny nun by the hand. He wanted to teach the lost boys street smarts and how to understand American laws. A woman who sold real estate wanted to transform a big apartment building into good housing for the boys. An attorney offered to help with legal issues. Some people decided to be the rock. Others were the ripples. Some did great things, some did small things. A community formed around the men. Hundreds of people attended potluck suppers. There were fundraisers, there were meetings, mentors taught all the boys how to drive, how to use computers, how to speak English. They found jobs and good jobs and apartments for the boys. They raised $93,000 to help pay for college fees and certifications. The ripple effect took off. Dimple Doe Incorporated launched a webinar. Whole Foods hired 12 of them. St. Ignatius High School continued to offer mentors and volunteers. The men became U.S. citizens. They pursued college degrees and careers. They found wives. They started families. A church raised money to bring one of the lost boys' mothers to America. When the government denied her travel documents, they arranged for a phone conversation from Sudan to Kenya. It had been 20 years since her son heard her voice. Amiel Arab enrolled at the local college to become a math teacher. "I'm staying here," he said. "I feel at home in this city." Majan Mabior passed his GED and enrolled in community college to study accounting. He started a project called Isaac's Wells, so the people of Sudan would not have to walk miles to get drinking water. Peter Jack became a pilot so he could work for the United Nations Refugee Relief Services and rescue other refugees. Akal Madut published a book of his life called Sleeping with the Sun in His Eyes, a lost boy at home in the world. In time, those lost boys became rocks, sending out ripples of hope. The rock at Bishop's grave summed up the story of his short life. The engraving was going to end with the words "Lost Boy of Sudan," but his brothers and his friends wanted to add one more word. So the total inscription read, "Beloved son and brother, Majak Tet Madut, lost boy of Sudan," with the added line, "found by God." God was in all those ripples of volunteers. I found a bookmark today from Mary Morrissey, and on one side it says, "Start where you are with what you have. You always have way more than you recognize." And some people continue to be ripples, thinking they could never be a rock. Or some people don't even try to be ripples, thinking their ripple won't make a difference. It does. On the other side it says, "Inspiration without action is merely entertainment." Act on your inspiration today. I have just a couple of slides. I found a picture of this boy, and he reminded me of the lost boy, although he's not black, and a lot of them are black. If they weren't black before they started across the desert, they would be surely by then. He just has that kind of wistful look. We have chances to befriend children, but we also have chances to befriend seniors. Seniors aren't as cute. They're not as vulnerable, or so we think. But they need us just as much, maybe more, than the cute, sweet little adorable babies. And in all of our struggles and all of our challenges, as we reach out a hand, we can help pull someone up the cliff. Might just be a small little tug. It might just be becoming aware that someone needs a little bit of help. And because there was a nun in the story, I couldn't resist showing a poster about Mother Teresa. I don't know if you can read that. If you can, you might want to read it with me. Life is an opportunity, benefit from it. Life is beauty, admire it. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a duty. Oh, sorry, I skipped a line. You're better at this than I am. Life is a challenge, meet it. Life is a duty, complete it. Life is a game, play it. Life is a promise, fulfill it. Life is sorrow, overcome it. Life is a song, sing it. Life is a struggle, accept it. Life is a tragedy, confront it. Life is an adventure, dare it. Life is luck, make it. Life is too precious, do not destroy it. Life is life, fight for it. And we may be called upon to bandage up wounds along the way. Yesterday, Dan and I were at a garage sale. We do this a lot. And as always, I found all kinds of beautiful, inspiring plaques. And this one seemed to fit. Before I share this with you, I wanted to say thank you to Jim and Carlin. Was the music today so pertinent to this message? Right from the very beginning. This doesn't just come because they hope it will come. They plan, they create, they put their heart and soul and imagination and wisdom into the music to help us to soar. So could you give a huge round of applause? And this is what this little plaque said. Love. Those who love passionately teach us how to live. Those who love passionately teach us how to live. You don't have to be a rock to love passionately. You can be a ripple. And that makes all the difference. Let us take this, after the song, into meditation.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the rush of angels' wings, see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
I invite you to absorb the love in this place. To close your eyes if you choose, and to just absorb the love in this place. To feel it. To feel that warm, comforting, strengthening presence of love. To know that that strong, comforting, loving, generous spirit is within you always. Always. That you can call upon that love. You can call upon it when you feel challenged or scared or just angry. And that loving presence will give you solace, will give you support. And for the next few moments, I invite you to think of the phrase, surely the presence of love is in my heart. Surely the presence of love is in my heart. Maybe whisper it. Surely the presence of love is in my heart. And all that that signifies for you. And we'll just keep that in mind for the next few moments, and I'll let you know when our time is up. as we prepare to come back, to open our eyes and return to our place of love, let us know that the love we generate here at Unity of London is a love that is meant to be shared way, way beyond these walls. And we send out special loving hugs to our dear Rev Lori, with the knowledge that she is healing and getting well, and that she and Bob will have a safe trip. We send out the love that's within our hearts to all of our friends and family who can't be with us, and to all those watching. We say, yay, yay, God. And so it is. Amen.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Now it's our time for giving and receiving your tithes and your offerings. Our unity principles teach us we are one with the divine source, and so we give not to source, but as source. Giving has been described as the spiritual practice of radical generosity, giving to what we wish to see flourish. Giving puts us in the flow of divine abundance. Pauline, we'd like to thank you so much for another inspiring message. Let us remember we may not always be rocks, but we can be ripples of love, and we can continue giving. By the back door of the sanctuary, on the wall, you will find intention cards. These may also be placed in the offering bag. This week, our prayer angels will uphold your intentions for what you want to achieve, either as a plan for your day or for your life. Now let us affirm our prosperity together by singing our offering blessing.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Well, Pauline, thank you for the very kind words about our music. We do try to work hard to bring some meaning for you and for all of us here in Unity. This is another original tune that we did some time ago, but it fit in, I thought, with today's message, because it talks about the greater power than me, and that's the power of all of us, the power of love, the power of the Spirit that flows through all of us. So this is a tune called Spirit Feeds My Soul. All right, let's give this a shot. Set myself for a distant shore, far from the life I've known. I wanted better than before, so I really had to go. But I never left my heart at home, I never touched the sea. I just let go and gave control to a greater power than me. I don't have to see the sun to know it warms my soul. And I don't have to feel the cold to know there's warmth within. Spirit steers me every day, it guides my shaky hand. No matter where my ship may go, it leads me to my land. I may be the captain of my soul and pretend I'm in control, but things I cannot do myself, Spirit leads my soul. Things I cannot do myself, Spirit leads my soul. I and all of us sometimes feel alone, when the weight of living every day feels like a heavy stone. Though we may not see a friend, there's always one at hand. Spirit walks beside us now toward our promised land. I may be the captain of my soul and pretend I'm in control, but the things I cannot do myself, Spirit leads my soul. I may be the captain of my soul and pretend I'm in control, but the things I cannot do myself, Spirit leads my soul. Spirit leads my soul. Spirit leads my soul.
And I invite you to join me in blessing our tithes and offerings. We so appreciate all the gifts that come our way, those that share of their gifts each week, each month. In any way, shape, or form, we know that it is all God, for God is our one and only source. And as we grow in understanding, we also grow in our abundance. And so it just keeps growing, and we're happy that that's the way it is. Amen. We're singing, we're singing. Oh no, celebrate. Party time. Party time. So if you have anything happening in August, a birthday, an anniversary, a new job, just something exciting that you're celebrating, come on up and share it. Oh, there's a lineup, lots of good things happening for you, Jacks. Are you ready to start? Okay, come on up.
Hi everybody. Just before I celebrate August, I'm celebrating July, just because I was away on a trip and I just wanted to share just a few moments of what it was like to be in Bastille, south of Paris. I was there for just a very short time. It was like a weekend, whimsical, and just to tell you how much I felt honored to be part of my girlfriend's great uncle's, ceremony and patriot. He had passed. He died in the airplane. It crashed, and for all these years, they had been looking for their families and all of these men that had perished in this plane. And it was the two Lancasters that went down. And I've learned so much history, and of course, translated so much over that weekend that it was amazing. And I just felt honored to be there and to share in the lives of my girlfriend. And one of the most precious moments was when we went to the cemetery for the other plane commemorative, was that they had played the national anthems for France and I think it was New Zealand, or sorry, not New Zealand, but thank you, Australia, Canada, and the United States. And it was, when we had a chance to sing, I was singing in French, my friend was singing in English, and it was the most precious moment that I felt so proud to be Canadian, not only for me, but so proud to be my friend's friend, and to also, because she's Australian and she came over, from England and such, to be here, and we met in Tobermory, and we've shared a lifetime of children and such, that it was just an honor to be a Canadian.
I am so happy and am celebrating that August 1st was my official retirement date. Yesterday, I pressed send for the final time for the book I have been working on. And the publishers took forever, but it's done.
In about another 14 days, I'm going to be another year older.
And I'm having a birthday on the 19th. I was born in Holland, and I came over when I was 2 years old. So on the 19th of August, I will be 72. I wasn't going to tell you about that.
I guess we're both Leos, and I was born in Holland too. I was 19 when I came over. But August the 3rd was my birthday, and I turned 76, so I'm just keep talking.
Another Leo. I'm going to be 65 on the 17th of August.
I'm celebrating because my mom's here visiting from Kingston, and it's extra special because today's my birthday.
All the drinks are on you today.
Well, all these wonderful birthdays. I'm here celebrating a new birthday for my sister Pauline. She made her transition a week ago Friday, and she's no longer suffering. And I want to thank all of you for the prayers and the hugs and all of the positive thinking. Thank you.
August 21st, I'm celebrating my 78th birthday. And I'm still dancing.
All right, one more round, Chip. Sam. Aubrey. They say, if you're gonna play, you gotta pay. Well, let's all together sing "I Choose Love."
No, I'm not paying. My life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing.
Throughout your week, each day, you will have an opportunity to sometimes be the rock, but always you can be the ripple. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me, I am light. The love of God enfolds me, I am love. The power of God protects me, I am power. The presence of God watches over me, I am presence. Wherever I am, God is, I am divine.
Spread the word. What unity can offer, spread the word. Of the message that you heard, spread the word. Of what it means in your life, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word. Of all the things we shared this morning, spread the word. That we're surrounded here by love, spread the word. And our doors and hearts are open, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word. To anyone who's lost and lonely, spread the word. That we extend the hand of love, spread the word. Spirit, walk with all who join us, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word. Of what unity can offer, spread the word. That we believe in peace and love, spread the word. And our doors and hearts are open, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word.
Thank you.